Hey guys, this is BAT Property Solutions. I'm Binyam Sagay.
I'm Hani Burhan.
And I'm Michael Abate.
So guys, obviously everybody's been watching the news. We've seen a lot of difficult things over the last couple weeks, uh, and things have been mounting. It's gotten serious. It's gotten to a point that things need to be discussed out in the open. Um, there's been a lot of silence around racial injustices in this country for quite some time. People might speak about it behind closed doors in their own communities, but it hasn't actually, at least in our history, it hasn't come out as strong as we've seen it in the last couple of weeks. And it has also brought some attentions to us in terms of what we need to do individually as a community. And we've been thinking, and um, it's been difficult to see what has happened. And we have had our own experiences as we have lived in this country. And we've had friends that have had those experiences as well. And hearing those stories again and reliving those, it's difficult to hear and to witness. And so, yeah, what do we do? Where do we go from here, right? Um, as people of color, the onus has been on us for a long time, and I think that with that, change doesn't come. We don't feel change comes with that. I think also people who are non-Black need to get uncomfortable, need to have those strong, difficult conversations, and truly search within themselves and use their platforms to speak against injustices wherever they happen. Because silence does kill. At the end of the day, it is. We
As
feel
bad.
like
It's just as bad.
it's just as bad. So, let's have those conversations. Dig deep inside yourselves and actually think. Why am I being quiet? Why? How does this make me feel? And use your platform to reach out to folks and to see how people are doing and truly come out from deep within and have truly meaningful conversations, because without that, at this point, there is no path forward unless you actually start to talk and get uncomfortable. Because within our comfort zones, change doesn't happen. Only growth happens once we step out those comfort zones. Yeah, so
And yeah, but just to add a little bit on that too, it's um, some people might not even understand it, and might even have questions on why. Because there might be people who say, I'm not racist, or I don't see it, or whatever the case may be, or they might not even know what to do. So it's like understand, study institutional racism, just know the history, do your research. If you don't know what to do, what to say, how to start, just learn the history. Just understand why things are the way they are, and why people of color, Black people, specifically, are um, have been discriminated for so many years. And so it's not something that happened yesterday. There's a history behind it, a long history behind it. And so, just do your research, learn the history. um, and I think that's the best way to start.
And, even within our own communities, within the Habesha community, even growing up, you hear a lot of the conversation, and even sometimes recently, that this isn't our fight, or this isn't about us. And I think that conversation has a problem with it. I think this has to do with us. I think as the Habesha community, we need to understand that our role in this is extremely important. Um, it doesn't matter whether you have been you have directly experienced racism or not, or whether you have directly experienced some of the things that are happening to others in the community. The only question that really is or needs to be talked about is, this isn't right, period. And it is our responsibility, no matter what your background is, no matter what your whether you think you have a role in it or not, we have to say something about it not being okay and it having to stop. And by coming together within the Habesha community, within the Black community, we can make massive differences. We can support Black-owned businesses more often. We can reach out and participate in Black community outreach. We can have these conversations with people who are not Black, as well as people who are Black, as well as people who are from any kind of race, because this conversation has no boundary. It has to be spoken about with everybody. And everybody, whether your role is, I'm going to go out and protest, or whether your role is, I'm going to educate myself so I can educate somebody else, whether your role is, I am going to support a group financially, everywhere where we see injustice, we have to speak up. And everywhere where we see a group of people or even a singular person, anybody, it has to be said and it has to be disapproved, because every day there will be people who are putting other people down. And this has gone on for way too long within the Black community and within our community. And we need to do a better job of just being a part of that conversation. We are all educating ourselves much more on the actual history, because there's so many layers to the way that it's been developed over the years. And it's something that we can really change if we start investing back in our community and speaking up when we see injustice.
Just to add a little bit, the topic you brought up about us as Habesha community, this is our fight. We're good at always within the community, always trying to separate. I'm this, I'm that, I'm from here, from there. We try to divide we always try to divide among ourselves, but the fight that's happening in the Black community is because we are part of the Black community, right? No, when we are being attacked by the oppressor, nobody looks or takes time to look at you and say, oh, you're maybe Habesha, or you're probably Dominican, or you're African American. There's no such thing, and until there is freedom and peace within for the Black community, and justice for the Black community here in America, there won't be peace, and or racism won't stop back home, right? Because it's all interconnected. It's because it started from back home in Africa, and so until there's peace here, there will never be peace there. And so this is our fight, and we need to be involved just like anybody else. We're not excluded from this fight. So how can we do better? How can we help? How can we be involved? Yes, protesting, is good. We're doing that. But if you feel uncomfortable protesting, I mean, it's not for everybody, and that's fine. And that's just one portion of it, right? There's many ways. I mean, this is a long fight, right? This is not something that within a few weeks, you protest a few weeks and everything's going to change. It's a marathon. There's a lot of things that need to be, that need to happen, and people need to be what's the word I'm looking for? Involved in different
parts. There's so many parts that everybody needs to be involved in a different part in order to have the
At the end of the day, it's a movement.
So yeah, there are.
It's a movement. So at the end of the day, it's not something like you could turn on and off. It shouldn't be that way.
Right. And so, like, we got to use our energy wisely. Protesting is great, and we got to keep on that fight. But also, vote. Vote for be involved in politics and vote the right people who support the cause. There are. I mean, the list can go on, because so on our part as a real estate company, our role is to educate people in our community how to be financially literate, right? Because that's one side where we don't have one side that we don't have education of, or something that we lack in that department. So group economics, as people, as collectively, we have strong buying power. So let's invest smartly. Let's get together and focus on group economics, because as a team we could do so much good, so much damage as well. So let's collectively get together and work on that, right? We need people who are experts in either be group economics or investing in real estate, to take the lead and invest back into our communities. So on our part, we'll do our part. We've been involved in real estate for quite a few years, yeah. And so our goal is to educate as many people as possible on how to be more financially literate. I mean, we have some growing to do as well, but collectively, there's successful Black people as well who that we can lean on and learn from. Let's reach out to those, and anybody who supports the cause, right? It's who supports the movement. Let's all get together, invest back into our communities. Let's be more deliberate and more focused on where we spend our money. And like Mikey said earlier, invest in Black-owned businesses. Help your neighbors. And yeah, it's at the end of the day, like I said earlier, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We got to use our energy wisely. It's going to be a long fight. The past few weeks has been amazing. We've seen a few changes, but it's a long road ahead of us, and we got to stay focused. We got to read up, be alert, be knowledgeable, keep researching, ask questions, learn your history, because there are a lot of people of color as well, who support the cause, but don't know the history. I'm one of them. I had to learn a lot of things as well. So there's no shame in that, but that's part of the fight as well, right?
Yeah.
The more people that understand
well-versed,
it,
yeah.
Exactly.
So you can have a good, even when you're talking to somebody who doesn't understand the cause or why all this is happening, just to have a good conversation, so a good dialogue. You need to be well versed, and so yeah, that's what we wanted this episode to be about. It's at times, it could be exhausting, because I know for for some of us, you work in an environment who don't support this cause, and you have to be professional and hold in your emotions, which could be difficult, and always have to maintain being a professional while all this is happening around you. I understand that it's tough, but
Get uncomfortable.
but this get unprofessional. I mean, no, to some they they can't afford it because that job supports their that's how they support their family. But this is where, for the non-black allies, if you're an ally, speak up, use your voice.
Good platform.
And from my friends, for our friends who those who've been quiet, your silence is deafening, and we're watching. And it's for those who are speaking up, we appreciate it. And yeah, stay strong, guys. Appreciate you guys. Speaking of supporting, please like, subscribe to our page, share this video. We really appreciate it. And feel free to reach out to us on how we can help this movement go further, and how we can collectively make a difference. We love you guys. Be good, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.